Hey gang, how are you? Kevin Goatee, Gutting the Sacred Cow. Happy New Year! Here we are, 2021. Give us your best shot. This episode is going to be fun because it's going to make a lot of you very angry that Adam Glyn has taken on a film that a lot of you love, and that is Anchorman with Will Ferrall, our second Will Ferrall film. Before we get to it, it is now less than 1 month away until our live show at the AMC Theater in Clifton, New Jersey. Bill and Joanne from the morning show are coming on down to do Karate Kid, so get your tickets right now, guttingthesacredcow.com. While you're there, check out our articles that we put up every Monday through Friday, and of course, our merch shop. Grab a long sleeve shirt, hat, bag, whatever you want, we're there. And yes, once again, please, if you're a new friend of ours, thank you so much for joining aboard. Only a requirement for this ride, give us that 5-star rating, 2 or 3 sentence review on Amazon. And if you really, truly do love us, we love when our fans tag us on social media, when they share it out to their friends and saying what a great podcast we are. And that really does help. So if you keep doing that, we can't thank you enough. Thank you so very much. Without further ado, here's Adam Glyn doing Anchorman.
Gather round, here's what I know. It's just that this cow has got to go. I know some people kinda like it, yeah, it's trending right now. Yeah, that doesn't matter, cause we're gutting the sacred cow.
Hey, what more can a guy ask for? Oh, a 6-demon bag? Terrific, a 6-demon bag. Earth, fire, wind, all that kind of thing. Kevin Israel, name that film.
No idea. You got me.
Big Trouble in Little China.
No, you know what? I haven't seen Big Trouble in Little China in years.
Oh,
years.
So good. So good. Kevin Goatee, Kevin Israel, how are you, folks? Here we go, Gutting the Sacred Cow. Here we are again. How are you, Kevin Israel? What's new and exciting?
I'm great. I am. You know what? I'm so excited. I know it's far away. January seems like forever, but I'm so pumped about our live show.
Do tell everybody about our live show since you are so psyched about it.
As it happens, Gutting the Sacred Cow is coming live to a theater near you if you happen to live in Clifton or in North Jersey. We're going to be showing the Karate Kid 1985 smash hit and the predecessor to Cobra Kai, the Netflix hit, well, YouTube and now Netflix. We're going to be showing that, and then we're going to be doing a live Gutting the Sacred Cow podcast with Bill Schultz and Joanne Nosachinski.
Yep.
From the morning show on Compound Media. It's going to be a fucking amazing time. You're going to get to see a live show and watch the movie and see how the magic happens. 7 o'clock, January 23rd. It's a Saturday at the Clifton AMC. You can get the tickets on Kevin Goatee or my social media or at guttingthesacredcow.com. Is that up there yet? Did I just make that up?
It should be soon. If not, it's definitely in the Twitter bio. It's up there. And go on Gutting the Sacred Cow on Facebook, Twitter. The links all over the place now. We're going to be promoting the shit out of this.
But the trick is, this thing is going to sell out because of social distancing. We have a very limited supply of tickets. So if you're interested, if you want to see us live, if you want to have some fun during this ridiculous, painful time, get your tickets now because they're not going to be around for long.
Just sold another one in the last half an hour break we had. So, all right. My buddy Danny. So, enough about all that stuff. We have as our guest tonight, Adam Glyn. Adam, welcome to the podcast. Thank you for coming on.
Boys, thanks for having me, man. Thanks to we've been trying to do this for a while, so I appreciate you guys taking the time. I know I've been a little hard to figure out sometimes where we're all work out, but we're here now, and it's all good. On. How you doing, Kev?
Good, man. Good.
We're all good?
Yeah. Tell everybody where we can find you, what you're up to, projects that you want to promote.
Brother, I got so many little things going on. I mean, I got so you can find me at Adam Glyn on social media. That's my Instagram. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Twitter. I'm on all the social media platforms. And then what I do is I do a thing called Adam's Apple. I'm a paparazzi on the streets of New York City. So that's what I've been doing for the last 10 years. So I do a thing called Adam's Apple where I have a camera follow me as I run around doing celebrity interviews on the streets of New York City. And I put that on YouTube. If you go on YouTube, Adam's Apple, or look up Adam Glyn, Glyn, you'll see some of my celebrity interviews and also my episodes of Adam's Apple. I also do a entertainment news podcast called The Hollywood Raw. And it's an entertainment news podcast. I do it with a colleague of mine, my buddy Dax Holt, who I used to work with at TMZ. And we like to say we humanize Hollywood. We like to reveal the fourth wall of Hollywood. So we have celebrities on, but we have them break them down. We don't really give a shit. I could curse, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Oh, yeah. We don't really care about the characters they play. We're more of like, how does it feel? How does it work from setup shots with the paparazzi to kind of humanizing Hollywood, that we like to say. And
listen, tell E they have a vacancy for some good-looking dudes who can invite guests on for movies and talk shit about that.
Yeah.
What the hell? Let's make it a trio on Gutting the Sacred Cow. Why not? But yeah. Adam is talking about a lot of stuff with Larsa Pippen, but his real bugaboo, as the kids say these days, isn't about Larsa Pippen and all that stuff. It's about Anchorman, 2004. I dare say the vehicle that got Will Ferrall front and center into our lexicon, if you will. 2004, as I had said, it was made for a budget of $26 million, $85 million haul domestically, $90 million worldwide haul. 2020 numbers, $36.2 million budget, 125.4 mil haul overall in the United States. IMDb score is, as we know, a 1 through 10 with a decimal point. Adam, why don't you take a guess? What did Anchorman score on the IMDb scale?
I'm going to guess IMDb rated it very high. This is a movie, that everyone loved that I never got into, at least the people in my circle, people around me. I never understood the appeal to it, but I think I think a lot of people felt differently. I'm going to think people gave it an 8.3.
Kevin Israel.
7.5.
7.2.
Really? Okay. That's makes me feel a little bit better that I wasn't the only one who didn't think it was that great.
Rotten Tomatoes is a 1 through 100 percentage score. Kevin Israel, what did the critics give Anchorman?
70.
Adam.
I'm actually gonna go lower. I'm gonna go. I don't think they gave him tomatoes. I think they gave it a 56.
67.
Close with the 70, dude.
Yeah. Audience score. Adam, I'll let you go first. Audience Rotten Tomatoes score.
I think the audience, most people thought it was really funny. It was a character. I'm gonna go 82.
Kevin.
I was gonna 84.
86.
Wow, Kev, you're good, bud.
Well, you know what? 52 episodes of this, you start to figure out the formula.
I just got glasses in my pocket, by the way, that I've been looking for forever. Holy shit.
That's better than finding a 20 in your washed jeans.
That's so weird. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I've been looking for these things. That's crazy. Anyway.
I don't know how you didn't sit on those things and break the damn things.
Yeah, I don't.
Quotes. Let's get in the quotes. This has to be one of the top 25 quoted films of all time. So many different lines. I'm just going to pull out a few that made me laugh that weren't the obvious ones. If you were a man, I'd punch you right in the ovaries. You pointed to your boobies. Dorothy Mantooth is a saint. You have way too much pubic hair. Starring Ron Burgundy and Tits McGee. Kevin Israel, quotes.
You ate a whole wheel of cheese? I'm not even mad. I'm impressed.
Yep.
Jesus, so many. I miss your musk.
Yeah.
Sex Panther by Odeon. Not gonna lie, it smells like pure gasoline.
Adam, any quotes jump out at you?
No, because I don't think this movie was that great.
Okay. Don't get into why you hate it yet. I know you're all trigger happy, but
can we talk about the beginning?
No. Okay. Wait till your turn.
Okay.
We're gonna get there. You have as much time to diarrhea all this film as you want. But first, we're getting to our next favorite subject: 5 fun facts. This first fun fact, by far, I love the who should have played who, and this film had a cavalcade of who was going to play who. John C. Reilly read for a part, but had to turn it down to do what film? The Aviator. Leslie Mann was considered for Veronica. Maggie Gyllenhaal also auditioned, but Adam McKay said, quote, she was too good for this role and would eventually win an Oscar. Hint, she did. Amy Adams was turned down because she looked too young. James Spader said he would, quote, do anything for the role of Brick Tamlin, but he was also deemed too good. And Ed Harris almost played newsroom boss Ed Harkin. Oh, P.S. Ron Livingston auditioned for Brian Fantana, but lost to Ant-Man himself, Paul Rudd. There is enough footage for a 6-hour director's cut, which for a Judd Apatow film is about 1/3 of its normal running time. Anchorman was pitched to DreamWorks nearly 20 times in different variations. Too bad Anchorman 2 could not have been edited 20 more times because that was awful.
No, so bad.
Will Ferrall actually has played the flute since elementary school, but did not play in that scene.
Oh, I was going to say, wait, so that was him actually playing the flute?
No. It was dubbed over. There was an entire storyline featuring Amy Poehler, Maya Rudolph, and Justin Long, but it was cut and put into a straight-to-DVD movie.
Well, that's what I'm doing right after this. I love Justin Long.
Do you?
I do.
Besides his mom, you're the other fan club. Okay.
Watch the outtakes from him in Zach and Miri make a porno.
Okay.
He improv'd his whole scene where he's a gay porn star.
Right.
And the outtakes of it's fucking hysterical.
Unlike that movie.
Yeah. The movie was not good.
And I love
his
Smith,
scene,
but man, that was rough, as McGruff, the crime dog, says. Enough horse shit, enough fanfare, enough razzmatazz. It is now time for Adam Glyn to gut the sacred cow.
So let's start it first, dude. We went back and forth. I probably pissed you off for so long because you're like, Adam, give me a movie.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me to think about a movie because, if I don't like a movie, I can't finish and watch the whole thing. So and every single movie I picked, you guys have pretty much did an episode on.
Right.
Avatar, Matrix. I never got to finish watching these movies because if I don't like it, I just turn it off. I can't get into this movie. I had to think long and hard for a movie that I couldn't get into that everyone else loved. That was the angle I was looking for.
Right.
This, which when you were saying about the ratings, I was surprised at how low the ratings were. I guess there was other people that felt this way. I just didn't think the movie was that strong. It was that funny. Even when you said the lines, there was not too many great lines that came from this. I thought it was a little long. I was surprised they even made Anchorman 2. I don't think there's anything memorable from this movie.
Okay.
Was it a success? It was a success. They made profit on it. There was just nothing. I'm a big Will Ferrall fan, but I don't believe in the character. I didn't think that character of an Anchorman was that great. I think Christina Applegate she's not my favorite actress. I think they could have had a better person play her. I don't think the people around Will Ferrall were that funny. There was just, can you think of one breakout scene from this movie? I mean, I guess it's the fight when they all start fighting each other and you got all these people pop in from different kind of news tasks, like Ben Stiller, I think it was like the Spanish news team, all these other news teams, and they start having this crazy fight. And it was fun. It wasn't funny. It was fun for that piece. But the rest of the movie, there was nothing really funny. That was it. There was a few, and that was the only fun moment. But as far as funny moments, nothing made me laugh. But I also thought a lot of people talk about this movie all the time, and I always felt left out because I never got the joke.
Okay.
So you have watched it all the way through, though?
I have watched this one all the way through. I've watched it all the way through multiple times. Again, I'm a Judd. This movie is produced by Judd Apatow. I like Judd Apatow, but I also think Judd Apatow's movies go a little too long. I think actually the best movie that Judd Apatow was a part of was the Disney movie Heavyweights, which was probably from about 25 years ago, 94 or something.
That's the first time that heavyweights reference has made its way. Actually, second, when we talked about Napoleon Dynamite last week, there was a a heavyweights reference.
No, there was. That's right.
Which I just found out recently. That movie was not a success. It's a cult fan. It's got a cult fan base. But I just looked it up. Actually, I looked it up today, and I'll tell you why I did. But I looked up the movie didn't do well in theaters and just didn't do well overall.
I never saw it.
I didn't either.
Oh, dude, it's a great movie. The funny thing is, I have this thing that I like to do. I'm just so curious. I'll look up random actors just to see where they are now. And the movie itself is just a great movie. I actually think it was ahead of its time because it was a Disney movie, but it was about a fat kid camp. And so it's kind of like, wow, that's a kind of touchy subject to do a Disney movie on. And it was funny. I looked up to see where the cast is now, and I just kind of looked on Instagram to see where the kids are. And one of the guys, I was like, oh, I started following one of the guys, the main star on Instagram, and he added me back right away on Instagram. And I saw that he was in New York, and I wrote to him. I was like, hey, dude, do you want to work out? So I was actually supposed to work out with him 2 hours ago, and then he hit me up right away. I was like, hey, dude, last minute, I can't make it. I got to go eat with my mom. I'm going to try to make it tomorrow. So I might be working out with the guy tomorrow.
Of course, he has that spare time on his hands.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure. What were your guys' opinions? What was your guys' opinions on this movie? Do you dislike it? Do you agree with the Rotten Tomato score or what?
Right. Well, hold on. You have way more time to go take this down, man. What else about this that just angered you or disappointed you? Again, this is your time to go crazy with this.
I think it was. I think this movie would have been better with John C. Reilly in it. It sounds like he was considered for a part, but there was no, even when he made the memorable lines, I'm looking at the movie, it was ranked as as number 100 on Bravo's 100 funniest movies, number 6 on Time Out's top 100 comedy films, and 113. It's insane. That's insane. When I think of Will Ferrell's funniest movies, there's a lot of misses with Will Ferrell, like the ice skating movie, and I just think this was maybe that Blades of Glory. Right. I think people like that. It's weird. Will Ferrell, he's known for doing some unique things, and this one just didn't deliver on my end, and I just felt out of touch because I felt like everyone liked this movie, quoted this movie, and thought it was funny, and I just didn't really enjoy the character of Ron Burgundy.
Okay.
Did you like Talladega Nights?
It was fine. I actually thought they could have been better, but I actually thought that could be better than Anchorman. I just think they don't play it as much as Anchorman. It's just, I think car racing is just, it doesn't really appeal to the masses like a newsman does because everyone's around the newsman. So, but I think it's actually funnier, but it won't get played as much as Anchorman.
Gotcha.
Fair. It's fair.
What about the jokes, I guess, that missed for you? What was it about? It's either funny or it's not, obviously, with comedies. It's very black and white. What was it that made this not funny for you besides characters?
It kind of goes with the character, when they started messing with her name or the boobs thing. He's playing, it just wasn't a strong joke. None of the jokes were strong. They were landing flat. They almost seemed too easy that anybody could have wrote it. And when it came to, like I said, the one part that probably people cracked up on was that fight scene. And to me, it wasn't funny. It was fun because it was funny to say who's going to jump in the scene now. And, maybe you guys saw it recently. I forget who came in during that scene. I know Ben Stiller came in.
Tim Robbins.
Yeah, so
Luke Wilson. There's a few of them.
So those were fun names to see during that scene. Who's going to jump in now? But it was just, it was just blah to me. I think you could see the story a little bit kind of what was going to happen, which I don't count. It doesn't lose points for that. Again, I just think the jokes for a movie like this fell flat and the characters weren't strong enough. Bottom line. I can't even think of a memorable joke in the movie. The only thing comes to mind is that scene with the fight scene.
Got it.
Do you guys agree with this? I don't want to feel like you guys are. You guys know comedy. When it comes to Will Ferrell's best movies, I think it's Night, for some reason, maybe because when I grew up, Night the Roxbury, which is a great, fun, dumb character.
Oh, I can't disagree any more than that. That film is fucking awful. I rewatched it during the pandemic, during the height of the pandemic.
It was on a little bit.
It was on Amazon Prime. I hate it. It was so, and I love the sketch on SNL when they would do it, but that's it. It was good for 2.5 minutes and just watching them shake their head, but for an hour and a half of just not the joke. A lot of SNL films just fall so fucking hard on their asses. Wayne's World being the one lone exception I can think of. I might be blanking another one, but most SNL films are straight up.
Was MacGruber any good?
I hated it. I'm one of the
people
few.
love that one. I actually
do.
never watched that, but it didn't interest me.
Not at all.
I think when Night at Roxbury came out, it came out maybe 94, and I could be
98. I was in college when it came out.
98?
Yep.
So I think at the time it came out, it just fit comedy at that time. It was one of those fun, dumb movies. I mean, talking about like Emilio Estevez, the Mighty Ducks man himself. I mean, and there he is, the Mighty Ducks man himself, Emilio Estevez. It's a funny line. Like, it's just so stupid. It was funny.
I dressed like them, so it was
Yeah, it wasn't. Was it the funniest? No, but it was entertaining enough. And I think when you watch it now, and I watched it recently too. So, do you guys agree with this or what? I mean,
you're about to find out. You're about
Good.
to find out. And now these notes are brought to you, of course, by guttingthesacredcow.com. As a shirt, as you see I'm wearing right now. Guttingthesacredcow.com. Every day we have brand new articles, especially good times to read on the toilet while at work. Why not poop and read other articles at the same time? And pick up a shirt, hat, bag, cell phone holder, coffee mug. We have it all at guttingthesacredcow.com. Notes! Will Ferrall's teeth look like a mako shark who swallowed a hand grenade.
I'm so glad you pointed that out because I thought it and I didn't write it down. This in the very beginning when they get the real close up on his face and he's supposed to, he's talking about how good he looks. I was like, how did he make it? How did he just never get his teeth fixed?
My second half of that statement, you would think news anchors have perfect teeth, especially in the 70s. That just drove me off. Like, how is this guy a leading anchorman with he got hit with a Randy Johnson fastball in the mouth? No.
One of my first. I hate to go off on a tangent. One of my first real comedy shows. This is like back in 2002, I think. I was on the show with this comedian who I can't remember who it was. He was apparently just on the verge of blowing up, and he sat with us and was talking about knowing that he was on the cusp of it and he was getting all these movie offers and everything. And they were like, and he goes, they're making me fix my teeth though. He's like, I have an appointment next week and I have to go have my teeth. He's like, I'm going to be out of commission for a month because they have to fix my teeth. And I was like, are your teeth that bad? And he smiled and I was like, they're paying for it. Fucking take advantage of it because that looks expensive.
Listen, tell your friend, look at these babies, huh? Yeah. These things are fucking perfect. I'm camera ready now. You see that, Glyn? Get me on the podcast. Let's dance. I still wear my retainers a few days a week at night.
Of course you do.
Of course. I have Will Ferrall teeth.
And every morning you apply a green tea herbal face mask and do 1,000 crunches.
Not the 1,000 crunches. Negative. I wish. Number 2, we have this film to thank the explosion in improv troops. Thanks, Adam McKay. Now we're overrun with improv groups with dopey names like More Meatloaf, Yes and Fuck You. Thank you. Steve Carell looks like that annoying guy who is a super Bruce Springsteen fan, and he wears his bleached jean jacket while swaying uncomfortably to the music at a concert while standing in the quote-unquote mosh pit. All right. The Newsman street fight scene is hilarious. And by the way, Brick Tamlin is a real-life Ralph Wiggum. I will give the film this credit. This is an absolute crown jewel moment for me. Why? Kudos for having Ben Stiller, Jack Black, and Seth Rogen in a same film, while none of them finally annoy the shit out of me. This is a Herculean feat. Usually I found all three of those actors as soothing as someone chewing medium rare steak with their mouth open. Hate Ben Stiller.
When was Seth Rogen in it?
He was the cameraman. He had maybe a line.
Wow, I completely missed that.
Come on, he's in every Apatow film. The green screen where Applegate falls in the bear cage is as horrendous as the special effects in any Roger Corman film. How fucking fake did that look?
It looked as fake as the bear that ended up cuddling with Brick.
Yeah. The shark in the first Jaws film was more realistic than that. Okay, this film loses a ton of steam after he gets fired. How does this get cut down from 3 hours and still feels like it needs a little more humor in the third act? I will say I do not have many notes on this film, only because it's a comedy. As I said before, it's either funny or it's not. There's not much to break down here. I laughed my balls off the first few times I saw this. Though, rewatching this just the other night, not many times I LOL'd during this recent rewatch, but still enjoyed it. The first half of this film passes the remote test with flying colors. Adam, the remote test is this. If you're watching cable and you're flipping around and you happen to stumble upon a certain film where you say, fuck, I know what I'm doing for the next 45 minutes, hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever, you drop the remote. That is the remote test. The first half of this film passes the remote test. The second half does not. I said this in the episode with Step Brothers.
I agree.
Thank you. All right.
I
Fair.
agree with that. I very much agree with that.
I'll take a well-earned congratulatory sip of Sam Adams. And I said
not
this
sponsoring the show.
They should, though, because this is fine quality entertainment. They have fine quality beer. I've said this before in the Step Brothers episode where our guest was ready to put me on his fucking shoulders and cheer me like Caesar before he got stabbed. Will Ferrall is like a jalapeno. Dice him up and sprinkle him on a burrito or nachos, I'll buy that. And that's why this film works. He has a hell of a supporting cast and does not have the spotlight on him for the entire film. But no way you can eat 7 jalapenos because you get vicious, acidic diarrhea on your taint, and that really hurts. And that is why most of his other films are fucking awful. The aforementioned Step Brothers, Talladega Nights, awful. Did not see the Holmes and Watson. That's, like, honest to God, one of the worst reviewed films in film history. Blades of Glory, won't see that. I won't see them. Land of the Lost, please. The TV show when we were kids was trash. Why would I watch that?
I agree. I agree.
Rat, Kevin, that was one of the dumbest shows ever made. I was 8 years old going, this made its way on a famed CBS morning cartoon lineup.
You were an asshole as an 8-year-old. That's amazing.
No, sir. You had low standards. You had low standards as an 8-year-old and as an adult.
If it had claymation dinosaurs in it when I was a kid, I was fucking entranced.
Oh, so you're going to tell me how much you love fucking Davy and Goliath too, you simpleton?
No, because that was a Jesus freak show.
Were you a big fan of the California Raisin commercial too?
The Christmas special is delightful.
That I'll agree on. This film is ready. 1, 2, 3.
Fine.
Slightly better than fine. Slightly better than fine. I like it. It is his best film by far. By far. His best film, not even a distant second, and it's a vapor trail.
Really?
Yo, 100%. This
best film by far. That's
his best film by a fucking
better than Elf.
parsec.
Better than Elf.
Stratosphere, Ionosphere. That's not bad, not bad, but it's not near as good as Anchorman. 6.5 out of 10 is your score from me, Kevin Israel. The floor is yours.
You know, I think we're spending too much time together, Kev, because you not only did you cover everything I said, but you included I don't have many notes about this. I was taking notes of the movie as I was watching it, and then I realized I was just writing down quotes. Like every time they said something that I've said with my buddies, I wrote it down, and I realized these aren't notes. I'm just writing a long list of quotes for that section of the podcast. This isn't actually my thoughts. My thoughts, I saw this movie in the theater. I thought it was hysterical. After seeing it in the theater, I probably saw it a dozen or so more times over the next 6 to 7 years. Thought it was hysterical. Quoted it nonstop. I can't tell you how many of the different. I love Lamp. I mean, like, so many lines, just constant. I mean, even obscure ones about the Trident. And I've been meaning to talk to you about that, Brick.
Yeah.
You're going to want to find a lawyer. You're probably wanted for murder. Like, just constantly quoting the movie. But upon rewatch, Kev, you're completely right. The movie drops off in the third act bad. That's
a very kind of just. Yeah. I'm sorry, I agree with you because you're 100% right. The third, as soon as you get to the third act, it really drops off. I never thought it from that perspective or that way. So that's a really great way to look at it. But go on. Sorry, I agree.
Well, it's the movie. The movie plays like a long, good SNL skit. Like, it's like a long running SNL skit where if you just took 7 or 8 episodes of it and put it together, that was the movie you got. But it did better than most SNL skits that become movies. It actually, the character was able to carry, and this, like Kev said, the supporting cast was great. The jokes to me still stood up. I still laughed. I didn't laugh as hard because I knew they were all coming, and I've quoted them over the years. But Will Ferrall's body is still a horror to me, and the fact that he flaunts it at every chance he gets just makes me proud that some men out there just don't give a fuck about how they look and are willing to. He has if I ever meet Will Ferrall, the one question I'm going to ask him is, what's up with that flap of skin on your gut? And we've all seen the weird wrinkle.
Is it like it looks like a stabbing? Where
it does. Yeah.
It looks like Quado from Total Recall is trying to cut.
I actually at some point Googled to see if it was like a surgical thing, and there was no information on it, which shocked me because we've stared at that weird flap for about 20 years now.
I think he had like a hernia. That's what it looks like. I don't know.
I think it's like a little. It's up on his like second. I don't know. It's fucking weird, and I've seen it.
I honestly have never noticed that.
You've never noticed the weird fold
when he goes streaking in Old School. You see it.
See, I'm gonna go on a quick tangent. I think Old School is insanely overrated. People are like, oh, it's as good as Animal House or something like that.
No, not close.
Not as all. No,
it's entertaining. Not really like you're entertained by it. It's like, okay, it's fun. That's what it is.
I think it falls in the same bucket as you can quote it 50 different ways until Sunday, but the staying power, not there for me.
Yeah. No, you're probably, I mean, look, when I first think of it, I'm like, wow, I love that movie. But then when I think about how many times have I watched it since, and would it pass the remote test for me? I don't know that I would rush to that channel to watch it.
Right.
So yeah. In my long rambling, not so long opinion of this movie, I still liked it. I'll probably still watch it once in a while when it's on. The sequel was a fucking disaster.
Oh,
the movie wasn't, to me, the movie wasn't good enough to warrant a sequel.
I agree with. Why would you make a sequel? What were they thinking making that movie?
It took them a long time to get that sequel greenlit. I will say the sequel
too long.
The sequel and our aforementioned buddy JL Colvin, that son of a bitch, he saw it in the theater opening day, the sequel, and goes, it's funnier than the first. I see it the next day or two. I'm like, all right, JL says it's gonna be good. I'm with JL for a lot of things. I fucking message. I'm like, you son of a bitch, that was awful. Sans the news anchor scene again they had in Central Park.
Yeah,
it was fucking abysmal. The second one,
I saw it, and I couldn't tell you one thing about the movie other than the scene where they're in the camper and it's flipping over. That's the only thing I remember from that movie. I don't remember what the plot was about.
No, I agree with you. The only part I would say is the most memorable part of both movies. It was in the second one, and I think it was when Will Ferrell sits with the new girl, the black girl, and sits with the black people at dinner, and starts making like all these like black jokes.
Oh yeah,
that was funny. That was funny. That was the only part that made me laugh. That was. But besides that, there's no other part in both of them that made me laugh.
Agree.
So I have it written down, and I'm like I said, I'm getting creeped out, Kev. I give it a 6.5.
I think we're fucking simpatico for Inglourious Bastards too, weren't we?
Yes, we were quite.
Jesus Christ. Well, kids, there you go. This podcast continues to undo all the good karma that we thought we sat into the theaters and go, this is good, it's great. And then, by the way, Adam said The Matrix. He didn't see The Matrix yet. Otherwise, I would have said, motherfucker, bring that shit on because I will destroy you if you come against
I'm
The
blown
Matrix.
away by the fact that you don't like The Matrix. I have never
No,
met
he
anybody who doesn't
didn't
like.
see it yet. That's why
I
told him
didn't
no.
see because I turned off because I had no interest.
Oh.
Are you not a
excited.
sci-fi guy? Do you not like sci-fi?
Not a
fan?
sci-fi. I never got into. I wanted to like Star Wars. Can't get into it. I know that's gonna offend a lot of people, but
Right.
even with the new show, The Mandalorian, whatever it is, I want to like it. There's nothing to watch right now on TV. I want to watch it, but I can't get into it.
Here's my sociological test. How old are you, Adam?
I'm 36.
Okay. Did you play with toys when you were a kid?
I did, yeah.
Like a lot?
More of wrestling. I was more into professional wrestling. I was a big wrestling guy. I liked G.I. Joes. I liked Ninja Turtles,
Okay.
and I liked pro wrestling. So I was
Well,
a
you're
big pro
ruining
wrestling
my theory.
guy.
Never mind.
never
I was gonna
mind.
say he said, yeah, we're 44, but it's just like the Transformers, GI Joe, He-Man, all that.
He-Man, Masters of the Universe, I love, but when it came to Star Wars, it just, and my nephew loves it. It could be like an educational thing. Maybe it's just you need to be a little bit more intelligent to like it. It's like Rick and Morty. I can't get into Rick and Morty.
I can't either.
Yeah.
But people are like, oh, you're not smart enough for their humor. I'm like, what? Like, I don't even get the joke. I don't get it.
You know, also says that fans of Wes Anderson, and they can eat my shit. Anyway,
Yeah.
that being said, 6.5's all around. Adam, give me a number on a 1 to 10 for Anchorman from you.
I'll say 4.7.
Oof.
Somebody else with a strangely specific.
Yeah,
number.
the last girl did a 3.3 for Bastards. That was just like, okay, but all right, listen, it's your score. Do it the
You know what it is? I try to avoid the number 7 because people always like to use the number 7. It's like a cop out, you know. It's the number 7 is a cop out for a lot of things. You say how out's a girl from 1 to 10. A lot of people say 7 because it's not too bad, but it's like it's an easy cop out. So I want to be very honest with your audience. So that's why I say you could sit through it, but I could sit through it, but I wasn't obsessed with it like everyone else was. I didn't see the funny. For a movie that's supposed to be funny, there's really no memorable lines. Even when you quote them to me, I still am like, that's.
Even when you say 3.7, I mean, I hear 3.7, I think that's a stone's throw away from 4.7. It's a little bit more of a buffer between that and dry anal rape. So I'm like, oh, all right, he didn't completely hate it. So noted. Let's talk critics' 5-star reviews. Absolutely riotous. Ron Burgundy, the man with a nose for news and one fine-looking head of helmet hair. Anchorman, it brings you comedy so you don't have to go and find it.
Jesus Christ.
Exactly. Let's get pithy in our reviews there, Joe from the Trenton Times. Some of the material works, some of it doesn't.
That's it?
And I say, sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't.
And that was a 5-star review?
Yep. Sometimes you have a 1 white poop. Sometimes you need 15 baby wipes to get the job done, or just cut bait and jump in the shower. Will Ferrall makes it big.
I appreciate these the
brevity.
Yeah.
I'll say, you know what makes it big for me? A beautiful topless woman makes it big for me.
I mean, big is an overstatement.
Medium sized.
Larger.
A nice B minus. Like an SNL skit that got out of hand, a good idea that just kept going and going, but never quite gelled into a story. I repeat, this is a 5-star review.
Yeah.
So funny that you won't care it has no real plot, but boasts more bad wigs than Lord of the Rings.
That's fair. There were a lot of bad wigs.
Critics, 1-star reviews. Overall, I put Anchorman on the same level as Dodgeball. Both movies are pretty stupid and don't generate as many laughs as you wish they would. Stop it. Dodgeball is worse than a Ben Stiller film festival. That film is fucking terrible. And adored by dumb people. I will also say that.
I haven't.
Kevin
seen
Israel
it.
likes that film. That's
I haven't seen it. I just haven't seen it recently enough. I remember liking it, but I don't remember. I mean, I don't remember it enough.
Everyone loved it, and I saw it and go, this is the Emperor's New Clothes. I don't see shit here. This is stupid. And I love stupid and funny films. Naked Gun, as we all know, is one of my all-time favorites. Half of Anchorman had me laughing on cue. The other half made me want to switch channels. So how is that a 1-star review? That should be at a 2.5-star review.
These people are idiots.
Get ready for one to make you angry. Aim squarely at the open-mouth breathers who turned Dumb and Dumber and Big Daddy into hits. Signed, guy who always wants to do magic tricks when no one asks for it.
But I do hate Dumb and Dumber, so I agree with that.
What?
You and I go through this at least once every five episodes.
Fuck you!
How much I hate Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, I hope the dog shit in your fucking pillowcases tonight.
I mean, they've shit everywhere else, so
That's the one place they have it. Adam, where do you sit on Dumb and Dumber?
Classic.
You're goddamn right it is.
Dude, it's a fucking classic. I was just talking to someone about. Listen, it's so good. Again, at the time, and it still holds its weight. Now, when you go to when they did the remakes, that's a different story. But when they came back and did the movie, I actually enjoyed it, but it wasn't that great. They came back a little too late, in my opinion. But there's a few funny jokes in there.
Yeah.
I thought, not Jim Carrey. What's his name?
Jeff Daniels.
Jeff Daniels.
Yeah.
Jeff Daniels was a little awkward trying to play that character again, just as an older guy. But the first one is a comedy classic, potentially could be in the top 10 of comedy. And you got to remember how Jim Carrey was at that time. He was the funniest person in the world.
Agree. Top 10 for me, I got to think about that. Top 20 for sure, without a doubt. I'll think about top 10. Next one. The period detail is hilarious, abetted fantastically by Alex Worman's score. But there's so much talent on hand, you couldn't blame anyone for wanting more. Who in the Isaac Hayes fuck noted the score of this film is my question to you. Guys, this isn't a John Williams, Hans Zimmer, Danny Elfman joint. What was next this guy's going to say? The almost magical as well. The score in Naked Gun 33 1/3.
You know what I will agree with in his review that as a time period piece, especially now that we're living in this even more heightened PC period where you have to think about everything you say, and like I don't think this movie could get made today the way it even being a spoof.
Oh, especially where the part goes, I think he's a gay.
Yeah.
Champ.
But when they say that brick is brick, years later they'll find out he had an IQ of 49 and he was mentally retarded. Like you wouldn't be able to say that.
They would just say autistic now.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you could even say that because you're still making fun of the guy. Like, I think the further we get into the PC culture, the more I'll value these kind of movies.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'll be like, oh, you used to be able to just say whatever you want because it was funny.
And my favorite of the 1-star reviews, it sinks like an anchor, man.
Fucking give that.
Brilliant.
I hope he has a job.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I loved it. I chuckled for a good 2 minutes.
That might have been the best 1-star review you've read.
Critics 1-star review. Our Amazon 1-star reviews are far superior, just on the lack of grammar and syntax and IQ points. Amazon 5-star reviews. Do not say no to lame jokes unless it's making fun of the 70s in the right way. Parentheses. Since art is subjective, no way is or can necessarily be right, actually. Unless it is in a negative connotation, such as mentally harming or physically, then that is not art for the sake of the good. It can do to inspire. Art is symbolic to emotion. Guess that makes sense. Smiley face. Signed, Ryan Seacrest. Funny movie. Watched with my son the night before he left for basic training. And that's how our family takes our mind off the possibility of our son coming home with his legs blown off with a vicious case of PTSD. Will Ferrall films. Do not you want to talk about autistic? Do not understand the thrill of tacos. Been eating them all my life, but Anchorman is Will Ferrall at his second best. Nothing will be better than giving his all on the cowbell.
English was not this guy's first language.
No, or fifth. I first saw this as a freshman in college where we watched it multiple times a week. 12 years later, and it is still just as funny. And 12 years later, still in community college. And my favorite 5-star review, this guy, I like this. I like the cut of his jib. If you like chips and salsa, don't watch this. If you like rusty screws, buy it on Blu-ray. That's so fucking absurd. I'm like, well, you know what? Mission accomplished. You got me to laugh. Amazon 1-star reviews. I know there are people who like this movie, and I'm glad they enjoy it. Good for them. But for anyone thinking that buying this movie who hasn't seen it before, I'm telling you, this movie is terrible. It is unbelievably, with asterisks, I don't know why, dumb. I've had root canals where I was less anxious for it to be over. You've been warned. That's a lie. Typical. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Happen.
Yeah. You love that line of mine. Typical. If you've seen one Will Ferrall movie, you've seen them all. Basically, he runs around in his underwear. Sounds to me like a sounds to me like a 5-star review from Kevin Israel's penis.
Hey, listen. I look good running around in my underwear. I can't help it.
Yeah, but do you have a secondary flap of skin running around as you jostling in the wind?
Some people call it a secondary flap of skin, yeah.
Some of my kids' friends just saw this movie, so since I have seen Will Ferrall in other movies and like them, capitalized, I don't know why, I decided we'd give it a try. Boy, were we disappointed. Just one awkward scene after another. I was disappointed that there was so much sexual humor in a movie rated PG-13. It wasn't. It was rated R, dummy. Complete with repeated displays of, oh, look, you have a major erection, and then cut to his crotch standing 8 inches out from Ron's body. After watching Anchorman for 45 minutes, my 14-year-old asked me to turn it off and certainly did not ask about replacing it with Anchorman 2.
First of all, no, he didn't ask you to turn it off.
Yeah, that's a lie.
Second of all, oh my.
Yeah.
It sounds like the worst parent ever. That's really such a Karen move right there.
Yes.
That is a terrible mother right there.
Welcome to Amazon 1-star reviews, Adam, full of shitty parenting where their kids should be taken away by DYFUS. Will Ferrall has always been hit or miss with me, and like his movies, most are misses. Completely agree. He's a one-trick pony who plays the same stupid one-dimensional SNL character in every film, to varying degrees. The best being Step Brothers, disagree. A Night at the Roxbury, the other guys, pretty funny. Give that a watch. Zoolander.
I like the other guys.
Yeah. Zoolander, never saw, won't bother. And okay, I kind of like Land of the Lost, only because I had expected to hate it so much. Based on the reviews that I found myself chuckling, certainly more than I ever did during Anchorman, which I saw years ago. And aside from one line from an extra, I didn't laugh.
I don't even know where he was going.
I don't either.
It's
And the last
so
one.
interesting.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's fascinating that people have the time to actually write this stuff. Like, these are the worst reviews ever. Like, I'm glad they're not like, you know, I feel like these people could be reviewing films in like their local Gazette or local paper, because it's just, they're so bad. People suck, dude.
These are these are manifesto kind of style writings here.
Yeah.
And you know what happens? They write these reviews and they push back their keyboard and go, "Yep, another one in the books."
Got him.
Have you ever written a review on Amazon?
No.
No, but I've done maybe, there's so many times I understand why people, you know, comics, we're used to like people like shitting on us or like YouTube videos or something like that, like bad comments. We're so used to it. And sometimes I want to do it to other people, but I just choose not to do it. But I do write bad. I threaten to give bad reviews if they don't give me a free product or something like that. Like I'm a Jewish, you know, so I'm trying to get whatever I could get. So
another one tonight, Kevin. Kevin, you got two of them tonight. You're two.
Fucking this is the Semitic dream right here.
Yeah.
I've written a couple of Amazon reviews about like products, like stuff that like didn't work or something, just because I was pissed off. And you get every now and then, every few months, you'll get your review helped X amount of people or like X amount of people. And I will totally admit that I'm like, yep, I'm just helping the people, just a man of the people.
Well, you know what, dude? I'm verified in Twitter. Hell yeah, showbiz. So what I'll do is I'll more likely to do a review on Twitter and tag the shitty company. Just so
Constantly.
they reach out to me like, oh, we're so sorry for your experience. How could you make this better?
Yeah. Oh, I become my mom for writing letters on Twitter.
You guys are both Karens of the podcast tonight. I just want to
that's where I'm at in my career. I'm trying to get I'm trying to squeeze whatever I get for free. That's where I'm at in my career, bud.
Dear sir or madam, this is a sternly worded email.
You know how many of my tweets end in nice, real nice.
I'm ready to tweet at New Jersey Transit because the stairwell by where the Secaucus train station, it looks like a goddamn bat cave from all the shit from the birds just all over the floor. And I did tweet at him once, and I said, the weeds by the side of the sidewalk are taller than I am, and I'm 6 foot fucking 2. Shape up. And I swear to God, the next day or two, the weeds were trimmed and gone.
For the record, they do listen to that stuff.
Oh, I know.
I know for a fact Transit does.
Too bad that they can't find anybody else to work on the trains besides recently paroled convicts. Last one. So bad. 8th grade boy stuff at the highest. SNL cast rarely transfers. Case in point. Signed, Donald Trump. Because that was exactly the cadence I read that review. Kevin Israel, did Adam Glyn gut the sacred cow?
I don't think so. I think
I was waiting for you to say, well, you know, because that's the code for I'm going to fucking tee him up with a nice compliment and say no fucking chance. So
listen, I wasn't trying to kill him. I just was throwing a few jabs, okay? And Will Ferrall said we're doing Anchorman 3 next week. Would you like to be in it? I'm like, absolutely. I love the first two. Okay.
That's a completely
so I'm trying to work in this business, guys. Okay.
We're whores.
Yeah.
That's a whole different.
If by any chance I can't have this come out to kill me, because there's a very, very slim chance I could possibly be in a movie with Will Ferrall. I don't need this to resurface, and then I just get killed out of this movie, okay?
Well, if that's true, then this podcast has ruined Kevin and I. Chances of never being in any movie.
You guys really don't want to work in the industry ever, huh? Don't you? Just want to piss off everyone?
Yeah.
Wes Anderson, of course. No,
looks like I'll be having to write a few apology letters to Rebel Wilson and Chrissy Metz then.
It's right. But this is just a very hard. It's hard because, for me at least, I can't. I don't have. I'm so impatient. I got so much shit going on that it's hard for me. I give it some time. If I'm not interested, I'm not going to waste another 45 minutes into it. At least Anchorman was, and you guys said it very, very well and gave me a great perspective on it. The first half is good, but once it gets to that third act, that's where it kind of really goes sour. And I never really thought of it like that, but I agree with you 1,000%.
Cutting the sacred cow, opening eyes one episode at a time.
No, and as you've aptly put as well, Kevin, going back and just fucking torching 90%
of you loved.
Oh, exactly. Like, oh man, this wasn't as good. Next time we'll be doing the never-ending story and really showing Kevin Israel.
If somebody ever offers to do that, I won't approve it.
I agree.
I don't want that movie ruined.
That film is terrible. That film is so fucking awful.
If you had to sit through that movie again and watch it, come on. It's like Labyrinth.
Actually, Adam Glyn, shout it out. Where again can we find you? Let's hear it.
Find me at Adam Glyn on social, on Insta, GLYN. Check out my podcast, The Hollywood Raw. And guys, thank you guys so much. I didn't even realize this is good. You guys do your homework, because you kept pushing me. You're like, dude, give us a movie. Hurry up. Like, I need to know your movie. And now I understand why, because you guys do a lot of research into this, and you guys do a great job. So I commend you on the work that you put into this podcast. You guys articulate it and make it very interesting.
Well, I think this show is pitch ready. Let's go, Kevin. Let's get out of corporate America. Fuck this. Fuck this.
Where's that check?
Adam Glyn gives us a stamp of approval. Ollie oxen free, bitches.
Kevin
Yeah,
Israel, where can we find you?
KevinIsrael.com, and you can get my album, The Struggle is Real, on iTunes and everywhere else that you can get stuff. And keep supporting live comedy where you see it. And come out to our live show on January 23rd, Saturday, AMC Clifton. We're going to be gutting Karate Kid with the morning show hosts.
Bill and Joanne.
I don't know why I just blanked on the names.
Oh.
And it's going to be a fucking awesome time. But the tickets are going to sell out, so get them quick on our social media, and it's going to be up on our website, but they're going to go hot.
You can also find Kevin writing nasty reviews on Amazon and tweeting product names out as well, so be on the lookout for that.
Absolutely. While I have my readers on.
yeah.
And you can hear him with the as he types out those emails as well, I might add. KevinGoatee.com, NFL picks. Boy, we're having a little bit of a rough stretch, but we'll bounce back. More importantly, guttingthesacredcow.com every day for articles Monday through Friday. And, of course, please subscribe on YouTube so you can see us. And if you're a podcast fan, make sure you subscribe on your podcast platform of choice. And don't forget, we could still use those 5-star ratings, 2 or 3 sentence reviews, and just to boost us in the algorithm. And lastly, I forgot, if you want to advertise with us, guttingthesacredcow@gmail.com. We'll advertise damn near anything. You hear me, Fleshlight? And that's that. Kevin Goatee.
If you have it, we will sell it.
Yeah, exactly. Kevin Goatee, Kevin Israel, and Adam Glyn. Thanks for joining us, Adam. Appreciate you.
Boys, thanks for letting me come on. I appreciate it.
Pleasure is ours, sir.
Good shit,
We'll see
Adam.
you next time, guys. Take care.